Hello, Jordan.
Hello, Alexis. How are
Hi.
you?
Very good. Nice to see you.
Amazing. Good to see you too. Looking forward to the live.
Yeah, I always get very excited when I see this countdown video. It's like, oh, it's coming, it's coming. We're going to start. It's like, wow, I get even more nervous than in the on-site workshops in front of hundreds of people. So yeah, very excited about the live today and about talking and sharing about the holosomatic energy therapy.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this. I'm brand new to this, so yeah, I'm really excited for it.
Great. And let's start talking about the training last week because Jordan, you were last week in the holosomatic energy therapy training in Malaga, in Spain. And then, yeah, you participated actually as a student in this training. And this was the first time for you to participate and to work with energy in the way we did last week, because you already
Mhm.
worked in the past with energy in your sessions and in the past. So I would like to know how it was for you. What do you feel? What do you find different than other trainings? So how was your experience with this training?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, this is what I've been saying to everyone. So many people have been messaging me. So many people have been asking me questions about how was it. That might be like past students or other people that I know. And the thing I say to everyone is that it far exceeded my expectation. I've already done the holosomatic breath work and the body work training. So I knew that it was going to be useful. I knew it was going to be, very helpful for me. But if I'm honest, my perception was I really enjoy what I do at the moment. So when it comes to helping to guide others, the workshops that I do, I love it. And I thought that, okay, I'm going to do the holosomatic energy training, but I'm only going to pick little bits out of it. And it's just going to be to try and amplify what I already do. This is what I really saw that it was going to do for me. But instead, it literally blew me away. And now I'm in the planning stages of putting together, like, normally I do like 3 hour workshops which are breath work and body work, and I'm excited to do literally separate 3 hour workshops that are more I'm thinking at the moment like Kundalini exploration experiences or something along these lines, but I'm very excited to be able to get this in there. And the another thing that I've been sharing with everyone who's been asking me questions is that for me, I thought what was going to happen is a few people were going to feel a lot, and a few people were going to have these very profound experiences. But for others, it wasn't maybe going to be as strong, wasn't going to be as powerful. And actually, what I saw, and I'm sure you'll agree, if anything, for many people, it was too, at times, it was like there was too much activation. And I was like, I thought it was going to be really hard for people to get activated. And I thought, there was going to be one or two people who were like really responsive to it. But it was like everyone was feeling so much. Everyone was moving so much energy. And I was like, this doesn't just work, it works exceptionally well. And that's what's got me super excited. And now to be able to incorporate this into what I offer, I'm more excited. I just can't wait.
Okay, amazing. Thank you for sharing. And just to show that we are not exaggerating with this training, I'm going to share a video of what happened last week. So I'm going to play it, and we're going to see some of the clips of what happened. These are the students of Inner Camp, the students last week, doing some of the techniques we learned. This is actually you with Alexandra.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Very powerful. Yeah, really powerful. Great. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you also, do you think this training is similar to the breath and body trainings, or there are some, what do you think is different?
Yeah, well, for me personally, my sort of doorway into all this work was breath work. So I did the holosomatic breathwork therapy course, and it literally blew me away. I had such a transformational experience. It was really powerful, as in the practices were really powerful. And I was just like, I learned so much. And I took so much value to be able to help other people. And then when I went on to do the body work, it for me, it was more like it was amplifying what I was doing already. And that's why my mindset was with the energy, it was going to be like that. My main game is breath work. And then I use some additional techniques from body work, some of the more advanced techniques when it comes to the body work stuff. I prepare the body differently as well to help us to go deeper with some of these practices. But again, I thought the energy, that's what I was going to get. I was going to get some little things that can amplify what I already do. But instead, yeah, for me, I'm not sure yet. I literally sent a voice note to someone, Andrea, you know, Andrea, earlier on, because she was like, how was it? How was the energy training? And I said to her, I'm really not sure which one of my favorite one is now, because before it was like breath work. It's all about breath work. And of course, yes, body work's amazing as well, but my favorite is the breath work side of it. But now I'm not sure. I think maybe because it's so new and it was such a profound experience that maybe over time it will become more normal for me, this energy practices, and then I'll have a dual love for both of them equally. But at the moment, I think I'm swaying more towards the energy therapy. It was just transformational.
Amazing, amazing. And I know that you facilitate workshops in your area and you do breath work, body work. So how do you think you can implement what you have learned last week in your current workshops with breath work and body work?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think I'll probably apply more like the working with the energy during the session, during the main part of my session. So normally what I do is I do some different breath work techniques to really start to prepare the body, some emotional release exercises, some body work practices to prepare the body, and then go into more of a breath work session. So at the moment, I think when it comes to the sessions that I do at the moment, I'm thinking about mainly using more the energetic stuff during the breath work, and maybe like a chakra cleansing or like an exploration beforehand as like a grounding technique, or maybe connecting to the three power centers. So I can see it like that. But really, the thing I'm more excited about is having a separate workshop. And that wasn't something I thought was going to be coming at all. I didn't think I was going to have so much content and so many practices that I feel comfortable with as well, because you don't always resonate with everything, but I feel like I have more than 3 hours worth of value that I could bring to people within a workshop. So yeah, I think I'm going to probably use it more so in a completely whole workshop, and still use some of the skills within the ones that I currently run at the moment.
Amazing. Yeah, really great to hear that you can incorporate all of this into your workshops, because it's really valuable. And then when you combine it together, it's even more powerful than just breath work, body work, or those practices. And
yeah,
it was very nice to see you there and to work with you last week, because normally we facilitate together. So we are facilitating and teaching together. And then it was really great to see you there in action and learning and taking notes. So it was really beautiful to see you there as a student.
What's quite interesting is the number of people that have seen me this week. They're like, you look really well. Where normally after we've been traveling about a lot and it's long days, it's a lot of hard work, they're like, you look tired. So yeah, it's given me not just some more skills, but yeah, I feel great after last week as well. It was amazing.
Amazing. Yeah, maybe next week after the tour here in the UK, after the workshops here in person, maybe you're going to feel more tired.
Yeah, maybe so. But yeah, I mean, in regards to like the energy therapy that you've put together, how did this come about? How did you come up with this concept? Because it's quite unique, isn't it? Compared to what's about, there's many people that are doing different energy practices, but this was something that you've created more recently. So how did this come about, and how did you get to this point?
So in the past, we had the Tantra therapy training, and we have facilitated this training for like 25 times, more or less. So we had like 25 editions in the past since we started in 2018. I think we have trained like close to 1,000 people in Tantra. And at some point, we realized that this program was very broad, and there were many teachings, many different facilitators doing this program. And at some point, I decided to focus more on energy activation, because this is what the students were demanding more, and also because my own journey, I started with energy like probably 8-9 years ago. So it was like an accident. I was doing breath work, and one day I activated a lot of energy. I didn't know what this was, and then I felt so much energy. It was so powerful. It was anyway a not very good experience, but I have always had like a lot of interest in energy, in Kundalini energy in general. So sometimes I didn't like the fact of depending on someone or needing someone to activate my energy. So this is why I studied many different techniques to activate my own Kundalini energy, my own energy. And this was always a wish. I would say like in the last 4 or 5 years, it was my wish to offer something about energy, about Kundalini energy. And, the first edition of the energy program was this year. So we have run already 4 editions this year. The concept is coming from, I would say, the results of what happened in the past with Tantra and the Tantra program, and also my experience, but not only my experience, is the experience of the team, is the experience of Inner Camp, of the research team. So I think this year was the right moment to start with this program. So of course, it's not something that it came to my mind this year. This is something that I have been curating and preparing in the last years since I started. So I remember starting with breathwork and with somatic therapies and already known about energy. But when I started, I felt like, wow, this is too much, or I feel like I had some fear of really working with energy. It was like a big thing. And I would say in the last years is when I have been more working more with energy, and have also understood the best way and the safest way to offer this to people, to clients. Because in the past, for me, was like a big monster. So it's like you awaken this energy, and yet you don't know what to do with this energy. And in the last years, I have realized how to do this in a safe way, in a way that is not overwhelming for people, it's not overwhelming for clients, and then everyone can do it. And also you can adapt it to the needs of each person, right?
Yeah, no, I think this is a really, really important part. Is like, yeah, it's not just a one size fits all. As the breath work and the body work, they're therapeutic they're tools. So we need to be able to adapt it to what that person's going through at that moment in time. And that's what I absolutely love about this particular program. And so another thing that a few people have asked me, and I want to know what your perspective on it is, because I've had lots of messages since we've been away last week. Everyone's messaging me about the holosomatic energy, and people are asking, like, okay, they want to do it, but they really want to start working with it as their career. They wanted to do it like full time, working with energy. Do you think there's a possibility for people to really do it? Is it something that can just be done on the side as a bit of an extra income, or do you think people can really use these tools to work full time within energy?
So I think it's up to them. So you could say, okay, I already facilitate breath work. I'm a coach, for example, or I do talk therapy. I facilitate talk therapy to people, and then you could combine it to what you currently do. But you can also work full time with the holosomatic energy therapy, because in this program we offer like different types of workshops and different techniques. So it's like a set of techniques, and depending on the needs of your clients or the future clients, you can offer what they need. So it's not like, for example, one of the things that we learn in this training is the Tantric Harmony massage. So
Yeah,
this is
wow.
something that you can offer to everyone, and you could say, okay, I want to work full time offering and giving Tantric Harmony massages, or I want to incorporate into what I'm currently doing. And then sometimes offering Tantric Harmony massages, sometimes offering Kundalini activation sessions. Sometimes it's like I have a client that cannot go so deep, so we can start with chakra healing, for example, or learning how to bring more awareness to the body, etc., etc. So you could do like more, to work like more from a therapeutical perspective, and then giving to each person what they need. You could say, no, I want to focus on one of the specific tools, and then you are the best doing and facilitating this tool. So, and about facilitating full time, this is possible if you really take the time to feed your social media, to create your website, to reach the right niche. So it's possible to work full time with these practices. Of course, this is not something that you get certified and then the first day you're going to receive many clients and then your agenda is going to be full. Of course, it's going to take a few months to have a full agenda, but it's possible. What we have seen, and we have seen in on-site workshops that many people are interested, many people need healing, many people want to receive those techniques, want to receive this therapy. So there are many people out there who are waiting for a therapist to come to the region, to the cities. It's possible to work. It's possible to receive. Also, for example, at Awaken, we receive many requests from people asking for one-on-one sessions. We don't do one-on-one sessions. Normally, what we do is we ask them to go to the map of our facilitators, of our students, and then they can check the students that are in the region, in the city, etc., so that they can go directly to them, because there is so much work and we cannot cover everything. So is it possible? Are the people really waiting for this therapy? Yes.
Yeah. And actually, this has been really enlightening for me because from my perspective, running like group sessions locally, I love it. It's absolutely amazing. I get a huge amount of pleasure out of doing it. I feel like I'm giving a lot, but also I learn a lot as well. But one of the things in my mind is like, okay, well, I can't just do 15 of these in a month or something like that. But actually, if someone was to be running group sessions of this or other practices, and then they've got another tool, which, as you say, like the tantric de-armoring massages, that blows my mind. It's actually this training is probably more effective at giving you the tools to be able to actually transition to more of a full-time perspective. I love it. That's really, really good. I hadn't even thought about it.
Actually, there are facilitators
Okay.
who say, okay, I facilitate breathwork, but breathwork, I feel like maybe 20%, 30% of the people who come to me because of breathwork is not good for them. They cannot go deep inside. It's not enough, or I need something different. So when you use those techniques, you can offer to those people who cannot go through, or they cannot, what you already facilitate is not enough for them. You can really implement this and then go to, for example, the tantric de-armoring massage, or going to chakra healing. So you give more options. It's not only to say, okay, sorry, I cannot help you. You don't say to the client only, I cannot help you, and then I'm going to recommend you to another facilitator. It's also about giving them options. Okay, you have other options, and those options are with me, so I can provide more options, so you can help in more different ways.
Yeah, it's so true, because I have people that come along to my sessions and things, but actually maybe if I'm not sure if I'm going to be offering because of the time available to do the tantric de-armoring, but actually for me personally, that was one of the most transformational practices that we did last week. I have gained so much from that. The insights are still continuing to be dropping every single day. It's blown my mind. So actually, that's going to make my session, if I'm on the receiving side of it, better. So actually, if someone's already offering sessions, having skills like this to be able to help your participants to be able to get even more out of their breathwork session. Wow. Okay. This is amazing. I wish I'd actually do a lot more of this, but I know we're very busy within a camp, but I'm now getting really excited about all the things we can do. Okay. So another thing that I think is quite interesting, and of course, when we're talking about energy work, a lot of people are quite skeptical, especially when they see that it looks like some magic is happening, because we're doing a little clockwise motion and we're doing these weird things with our hands, and it's like, how can this really be leading to such profound reaction, whether that's emotional release, trauma healing, like for those people who struggle to comprehend this and maybe doubt that it's effective. How would you sort of explain this? Because I don't know how to respond to people. I'm like, it just works. I don't know why, but it really, it's incredible.
Yeah, one of the things that we prepare the people, we prepare our clients.
Mm,
So sometimes in some workshops, yeah, you might feel like there is some kind of placebo, or you can feel like it's not real, or people are exaggerating. And one important thing for us when we facilitate those workshops is that what you're feeling is natural, and it's coming from a place where you really you're releasing what you need to release, or you're feeling what you really feel. So it's not something that is created by the ego mind. So
mhm,
very often in those practices, what we see out there is that people from the ego mind, they have some reactions, and those reactions are not organic, are not natural. So
mhm,
something that is very important for us is to prepare the body. So we prepare our clients and the participants so that what they are feeling is natural. So so this is one of the things that is important for us. About energy, normally what I say to people who are skeptical and say I don't believe is I ask them to just try it, to try it out
mm,
and to see what
mm,
happens, and to try to surrender. Because the thing is, when you surrender, when you say I don't care about what is going to happen, is when your body is more open. And it's not about placebo,
mm,
because you are not really believing in anything at all. It's just about surrendering and saying, okay, I'm going to just accept whatever is coming. And there is no, we don't, at inner camp, we don't do demos. You don't
mhm,
come to a workshop and we say, okay, let's show a demo. This is what might happen. So people are already suggested. So people are prepared
mm,
to repeat exactly the same kind of actions, the same movements. So we don't do that at inner camp. At inner camp, we're going to tell you anything can happen. So allow it to happen. This is a safe space where you can do whatever you need to do. You can make any kind of noises. This is for you. This is a space for you to feel. Okay. And then in this space is when magic happens, and is when people feel many different things. And you saw last week, people were
mm,
able to release traumas, to release emotions, to raise this energy. So this is
mm.
something that there is, like, let's say, a magical element, although there is research, and we use research and we use science to try to explain what we are doing. Although there is science, there is still a mystical element, and there is energy,
Mhm.
and it's possible to raise this energy. So my short answer will be just try it by yourself and see what
Yeah.
happens.
Do you know what? It's so true, actually, because when it came to the breathwork side of things, people like, but how are people are having these unbelievable experiences just by breathing? I'm like, you just need to do it. You need to experience it, and it works this is the thing. I know as long as someone does what they need to be able to do, it's gonna work every single time. It works, and I don't. For me again, I'm starting to think that this energy, it's already been more transformational for me already. And it's like there were many things which I knew intellectually, but this like really took it to a whole new level. And yeah, I mean, especially the de-armoring was just, it's unlocked so much. And I'm like, it's how working with the body can really get us to access all about behavior patterns and have these different insights. And it's like, wow, that connection is just really, really special. But would you say there's any risks involved with this practice, particularly for people who are dealing with maybe PTSD, significant traumas, or panic disorders? How would you make sure that it's still safe for whoever's turning up to the session?
Yeah, in general, we talk about Kundalini activation sessions or very intense emotional releases sessions. We will say that this is dangerous for people who come with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, panic attacks, big traumas, etc. In our method, we do it in a way that is safe for everyone. It's safe for a person who is coming with big traumas, with panic attacks, PTSD, complex PTSD. So in any situation, even people who are really scared about everything, sometimes we receive people who are really having a very challenging time. It's really hard for them to
Mhm.
feel things, to feel emotions, to surrender, to really feel the body, to really connect to the body. It's really challenging for them. So what we do is we try to create a safe space where there is no possibility for re-traumatization. So it's not possible
Mm.
to re-traumatize yourself. So always you are on control of what you are doing. In many of these practices, what we do out there is that people try to somehow um, overstimulate the clients and the participants. And then when this is happening, some people are going to have a very good memory because they were overwhelmed all the time. This was very activating and very powerful.
Mhm.
But on the other side, this can cause re-traumatization. This can cause bad experiences. So we avoid that, and then we give what each person is needing to each person. So we don't give more than what they need. And for that, we have a specific method, and we understand in each person of the group or in one-on-one sessions in any format, we understand when this is too much for a person, or the person still can receive more and can get more activated. So we employ like different signals so that we know when we can go, when we can continue, and when we cannot continue. Therefore, we do it always in a safe way. So is it possible, the holosomatic therapy, is it good for these conditions? Yes, they are. Okay, but we need to be careful because it's not all the methods out there, not all the somatic therapies or Kundalini activation sessions are good for everyone. Still, they can be very powerful for some people, many people, but you need to be always informed about, you need to know if the facilitator is trauma informed. So if that trauma informed, it means that they know how to deal with traumas, they know how to deal with post-traumatic stress disorder, they know how to avoid traumas or re-traumatization. So this is the important thing when coming to those scenarios.
Yeah, and like for me, people who are struggling with things like PTSD or significant trauma, these are the people who can benefit the most out of it. But that's why it needs to, yes, we need these powerful tools, but we need to make sure we approach it in the right way. And as you say, the trauma-informed approach, again, once I learned that, it was like, it just blew my mind. It's like you've got trauma goggles, and literally your awareness is just, it changed my life. It really, really was. It was really, really special. Now, the next question I already know the answer to, but more so for those people who are watching online is, after becoming certified as a holosomatic energy therapist, what kind of sessions can you practice and can you lead? I know we've already talked about the de-armoring, which is clearly a favorite of mine. But yeah, would you mind sharing about some of the things that you can do as a holosomatic energy therapist?
So actually, you can do different types of workshops or sessions. So you can do, for example, chakra healing, chakra balancing. So this is like preparing the chakras and removing any blockages in any specific chakra. So it's understanding, it's checking, diagnosing if there are any issues in each chakra, and then removing what is blocking those chakras. So this is one of the things that we can facilitate as holosomatic energy therapists. We can also facilitate, as you mentioned, the tantric diamond massage. This is normally done in one-on-one sessions where you are looking for blockages. You are trying to remove pain and blockages and trauma from the physical and energetic body. This is a very subtle practice where you are looking, it's like you are an inspector, you are inspecting the body and you try to remove what is not serving them anymore. So this is very powerful because sometimes people are expecting big reactions, but or like big practices, like where they need to yell a lot, they need to move a lot, they need to shake a lot. But sometimes some subtle practices can be very, very powerful, or can be even the most powerful ones.
Yeah.
So this is a very powerful practice, as you know, where we can find those blockages and remove those blockages. And then we are going to see big reactions. We are going to see happiness. We are going to see pleasure. We are going to see people really being able to raise and to move their energy. Also, something that you can facilitate with this training is Kundalini activation sessions. Sessions where you are focused on activating this energy, this powerful Kundalini energy, and raising this in a safe way, in steps. Okay, when the person is ready for this work, because sometimes some people are not ready for this work. So what we do is we teach different techniques so that we make people get ready and prepared to raise the Kundalini energy. Because sometimes people rush to activate the Kundalini energy. It's not about saying no to people. It's not about saying you cannot raise the Kundalini energy. It's about saying you can raise it, but first you might need this or that, or you might need a tantric diamond massage, or you might need to work, for example, on one specific chakra. And also we have had a womb healing as well. This is also part of the training. So we learn how to connect to our womb, how to heal the womb, how to heal in men would be the hara. So it's the same energy center that we all have. Every human has a hara, has this powerful center. and also working with the heart center as well, working with the pineal gland as well. So we learn how to activate those powerful energy centers as well, how to remove, how to bring safety to those places. And these are the practices that we learn. And not only those practices like alone, you can also combine them. And then you can create, imagine how powerful you can make a workshop when you combine different techniques. So you start maybe by doing chakra healing, and then at some point you move through different practices and you end up doing Kundalini activation. So it can become really, really powerful.
Yeah, it's really, really special. Actually, you reminded me about the pineal gland stuff, and it was like that was something which was unbelievable during, but ever since, it's like it's an ongoing thing. And this is another thing that I've noticed when it comes to, like, again, I'm going to keep coming back to the de-armoring because it was just such a profound experience. I think everybody should experience this. That it was the profound things. Yes, during the session, it was an amazing experience and I felt things and it was great, but it was more, it's the profound things have happened since because of that practice. So it's like, it didn't change this, it's about having this explosive experience or whatever, but it's actually changed my life afterwards rather than it just, wow, I've had this experience. It's unbelievable the way that it works. And I remember Marilyn was saying to me how the energetic stuff works instantly, and then sometimes the emotional and the physical stuff needs to come later on, but it really works, and it works so well. And that's why, again, I think I'm talking myself into it being my favorite program just on this call. So when it comes to getting certified, and we know about the different workshops that we can do, what about facilitating retreats? What about online facilitation? So, how does it work? I haven't facilitated yet an online Kundalini activation. And, in my mind, I'm a little bit like more nervous about doing that than in person. In person, I wouldn't be too nervous at all. I'm very excited about it. But yeah, the online element is like, okay, how is this going to work?
With this program, you can learn how to facilitate this in one-on-one sessions. So you get a client and you can prepare like the session, you can adapt the session to the needs, but you can also facilitate this in groups. Of course, the setup is going to be different. The way you're going to approach the session is going to be different. So all of this is taught in the program. So you're going to learn how to facilitate one-on-one sessions. You also learn how to facilitate group sessions. So we practice in one-on-one sessions, we practice in group sessions. And it is possible also to facilitate virtual workshops. And when talking about you from your screen or from home, you are moving your hands and you are using your hands to activate the Kundalini energy of your clients and the participants of the workshop. So this is possible. It is still very efficient and it really works. And then the interesting thing is that when you practice, and you will see it very soon because you have a workshop at the end of December where you're going to facilitate a Kundalini activation session. Yeah. So you will see that you will be on your side, on your side of the screen, and then you will be moving your hands, and then you are going to have the same reactions as you are having in the on-site sessions. So it's going to be the same, and then people are going to have their eyes closed, and you will see that they are not looking at you. So it's not like, okay, you are influencing them somehow, or there is some kind of placebo. It's impossible that there is placebo when you see that people
someone can't see
to your hands, your fingers. So it's really working. It is effective, and we go talk here about quantum physics and other theories, different theories, but you will see how it works. And also what the people are reporting, participants are reporting, is that it's really working, and they feel the energy, and they're raising this energy. So it really works. And you ask about retreats as well. Retreats is something that we also teach. We teach how to facilitate retreats, how to combine different activities together so that you can offer as well retreats, 2, 3, 4 days retreats as well. So this is really beautiful because when you facilitate a retreat, it's not like just a workshop where you have maybe 3 hours, 2 hours, and then you need to rush. People are busy, people are stressed because they didn't find a parking slot, etc. So when they are coming to a retreat, this is it's going to be your probably your favorite space, because you can prepare people to do what you want them to feel and want them to benefit from. So you can start with some practices that are preparing the body, are preparing the participants. And when they are really ready to go deep, to activate the Kundalini energy, to feel things, to release even more, then this is the moment where you're going to facilitate the deepest techniques. So the retreat is something that we teach, and then you can really transform many lives with the retreats.
Yeah, and I think when you mention about the virtual facilitation, again, I suppose my mind was also like that when it comes to, say, breath work. It's like, nah, it's not going to work if it's online. And I know for sure that it is unbelievable online, and it's just as transformational. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the experience of the Kundalini activation online. I'm looking forward to it. And it's something that came to mind earlier on, and I forgot about it when you were talking about this placebo effect. And it's like, but these people have eye masks on. Many of the people have an eye mask, but they are responding to the hands. And it's like, they can't even see the hands. And it's like, so how are they responding? So it's like, it's really is working. I love it. I love it. Amazing.
Yeah, right. So,
wow.
Yeah, you can see the reactions, and people are really not seeing anything at all. They don't see what you're doing.
No.
And yeah, you see, and then you know that it's working.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, as I say, I think even in this live, I've talked myself into this being my favorite program. I was already sending some voice notes to people who were messaging me about it, past students and things, who were asking me about it. I was like, oh, I don't know, it might be my favorite. I'm not sure, but I think I've talked myself into it. It's a really, really special program, and I just want to say, to put something like this together, it's unbelievable, and it's so effective. And I remember people at the beginning of the 5 days in Malaga, I remember there were a few people sitting around. It's like, it ticks all the boxes that I was interested in. I'm really interested about how you're going to bring this all together and make it a usable thing, but you've done it so beautifully well, like so artfully done, and I feel like I can combine them. I genuinely didn't think I was going to have that type of confidence coming out of it. As I say, I thought I was just going to use little bits of it within the sessions I already do. Now I just want to do 3-hour Kundalini exploration sessions, or whatever it ends up evolving to.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I see
okay.
here, Jordan, a few questions. I see, guys, in advice, what is best thing to do when you start as a breathwork facilitator first months to grow it and learn? So one of the things that we do at Inner Camp, Jordan, is that we always are available for our students. So the students finish the training, and then we are available. So we have a platform where they can ask the questions, and they can ask for support, they can ask for resources, and also we have mentoring course forever. So imagine that you finish your training now, and then you want to join the mentoring course in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, then you're going to have the mentoring course there available for free for you, so that we give always tips. We help the students to grow the business, and because our target is that our students become therapists and they can facilitate those methods. This is our interest, and this is our mission. So we are going to make our best to make this possible. So we give many tips after the program to grow the business, to give tips to, for example, when there is innovation, when we are innovating, when we are using new devices, for example, like one year, I think a bit more than 1 year, we started to use the headphones. So we train our students on how to use the headphones, how to do DJing, how to produce or prepare the music in a more professional way. So this is something that we offer to our students. Yeah, it's a big thing. This is something that we cannot answer now in this live, because it's like we could talk for hours about different strategies. Yeah. And then I see more like comments. I remember falling asleep, but you say it's not actually going to sleep, but we travel somewhere else. Yeah, in our session, sometimes depending on the session, there are, for example, the Tantric Harmony massage is not so easy to fall asleep. We don't let you fall asleep. But in some sessions, like, for example, breathwork, or it might be sometimes in Kundalini activation sessions, it might be that you go into a very deep meditative state, and then it's like you are going to another dimension. You can feel things that you don't feel when you are sleeping. So the state is very different than sleeping. And there are studies and there is research explaining the brain waves of these very deep meditative states that are different than really sleeping.
Yeah, and I can actually share as well, like one of the practices, the Soham breath work. And every time I do it, I've got an aura ring which tracks all your sleep, and it does your heart rate, it does your body temperature and stuff. Every time I do the Soham breath work, it says that I've had a nap because of the state of my body, the way my body is rested, my heart rate and everything. And I'm definitely not asleep. I'm sitting upright. Actually, I find it quite a struggle, this breath work sort of thing. I'm suffering sometimes during this, but it puts you in such a state. So it's very normal if someone's in a breathwork session and they're feeling very, very rested, they feel like maybe they've gone to sleep. Yeah, this is quite common.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
Still
I see
another.
people also,
Are you got more?
joining us in the on-site workshops.
Amazing.
Do you get any questions? Any
Yeah,
other
I've
questions?
got hey guys, good to see you. I didn't get the beginning of the conversation. It's about which program? And obviously, yeah, we're talking about the energy program in specific, but we have touched on some other bits around breath work and things like that as well. But yeah, just sharing the insights in regards to the energy program and the different things that we can do with that training as well. So yeah, thank you, Vanessa.
Mm-hmm. And I see Christina asking, what are the shadow sides? I think she's asking about what are the shadows or what is the shadow work. So part of the training on all the trainings we do is shadow work. So we try to understand our shadows, our blockages, our traumas, whatever you want to call it, and then to face them and to bring lights to those shadows. This is what we want to do, always in a safe way. It's not about removing or ignoring or avoiding those shadows. So it is important to face them. It's also not about a spiritual bypassing. A spiritual bypassing is when you try to find a spiritual, let's say, answer to everything that is happening in your life, because you cannot do that. I mean, there is the stuff that is coming maybe from your childhood, is coming from traumas from a few years ago, and it's about facing this and about understanding this, about healing those, and then you can continue with your life. So it's not about saying, oh, it's because this happened in my past life, or because I'm this kind of sign or whatever, then I cannot change. So no, we don't say I cannot change because of something from the past. We say, okay, I'm going to face what is happening, I'm going to try to understand what I can learn, and then move on from there. So there is shadow work, of course, and this is an important element. It's not about Kundalini activation and feeling and connecting to the cosmic energy and feeling a lot of pleasure and feeling many beautiful things. It's also about understanding your shadows and working with your shadows.
This was the big transformation for me last week. It was exactly this. Yes, I was feeling a lot of energy. I was moving a lot of energy, but the more transformational part is exactly that. Exactly that. It's amazing.
Great. So I don't see any more questions. Jordan, do you see any questions there in the chat?
No. From where I can see, I can't see any from that side. Let me see if I can move some things around in my computer. No, I think that's all the questions. So that's amazing.
Great. So thank you so much, Jordan. Thank you so much for today, and looking forward to, actually, we're starting a tour in England tomorrow. So looking forward to meeting you in Manchester. Yeah. I already arrived, and I'm already with all my winter clothes.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was going to be a festive edition, this live. I would have put my Christmas jumper on as well if I knew.
I brought all my winter clothes because this is too cold for me.
I've just seen one more question has just come through, actually. Is it better to try some courses and then become a therapist? Out by myself and after that. So yeah, like, should I do some different things first and then get certified as a therapist?
So in all our trainings, we do self-healing fast. So 50% of the programs are self-healing. So you're going to practice, you're going to receive, and you're going to heal yourself. And then after this 50%, you go into learning how to facilitate, how to become a therapist, and how to facilitate those methods to other people. So there's no need to go to courses or to practice a lot with yourself. I mean, it's good to practice with yourself and to try many different things with yourself. This is okay. You can do it, and then you're going to be a better therapist, of course. But actually, it's not needed to become a therapist, because all our programs are for 4 months. They are 300 hours, and 50%, 150 hours are for self-healing.
Yeah. Beautiful. I can testify to that. I've just seen another question has come through. Oh, sorry, another quick question. Is there another on location retreat like the last one in Madrid soon? So I think, yeah. Do you want to answer that in regards to on-sites?
So for on-site, we are going to have one bodywork on-site training next week in London. This is going to be bodywork. And then we're going to have 3 on-site trainings in February. Starting on the 28th of January, we're going to have breathwork, bodywork, and energy work. So the 3 of them are going to happen in Malaga, Spain. And then they are going to have a retreat format. So it's not only a training, it's a training encapsulated in a retreat. So that you are going there, your accommodation, food is included, and then it's the whole day doing different practices all together. So we create a community, we create a family all together. And we also have more trainings starting in August, because from March, I'm going to have a break of 5-6 months. So I'm not going to be facilitating any on-site trainings or on-site workshops. So we are going to be resting and then just facilitating online events and trainings.
Yeah, and I'd highly recommend if you can get along to one of the ones which is like the 5 days on site, where you get that retreat experience, but also you're learning the skills. It's amazing. And it really is, as Alexa said, it's a self-healing journey itself. That's been the biggest take home from last week. Yeah, it's just transformational. So highly recommend if you're interested in it, but you think you need to do some work first. The work happens in the process, in the training, for sure. And like I'm now in student mode, and I'm doing my modules, and I'm working my way through all the things, and I'm just getting so much value just in doing that. And I was even saying to a few people, I'm like, I so love being back on a training program, because it means that I need to reflect and I need to do these things. Sometimes I bypass this stuff because I'm busy and things like that, but you know, it's so important. And the course is not just consuming information. There's a lot of doing the work, reflections, and embodying it. And that's what I really feel like that's where Inner Camp really has blown me away, is about the embodiment of what you do. You're not just learning things intellectually, you really embody it, because of the way that the whole training is structured. It's simply amazing.
Great. So thank you so much, Jordan, for this time for today. And yeah, looking forward to also to tomorrow to starting the tour. And thank you to everyone who have been participating in the live today, or is also watching the live, the recording. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a lovely rest of the day. Take care.
Yeah, take care. See you tomorrow.
See you.